Hi, in this video I'm going to present the brain health benefits of Kefir. Kefir is a traditional fermented dairy beverage originating from the Caucasus mountains. It's produced by adding kefir grain to milk, and the eventual product consists of a variety of bacteria including fungal and yeast populations. And these are the bacterial strains that were found in kefir, and they are important that I will talk about later. Kefir can also alter gut microbiome composition and gut microbiome activity, including a strain of bacteria called bifidobacterium. The reason why I listed those bacteria in the previous slide is that they are probiotics. Probiotics are foods that influence live bacteria in the gut, and 4 out of 5 that I listed in the previous slide are shown here. These probiotics may also have positive effects on our mood, so they are also called psychobiotics. In a previous study, women who drank fermented milk containing these probiotics had reduced brain responses to negative emotional phases, while there were no effects in control group drinking non-fermented milk, suggesting that these probiotics could also affect those women's brain response to negative stimuli, and therefore those probiotics could also be psychobiotics. And since kefir also contains these probiotics, it's likely that kefir could also affect our mood. The reason that those probiotics could affect mood is that they act through this microbiota-gut-brain axis. Microbiota-gut-brain axis is an axis involved bidirectional communication between brain and the gut microbiome. For example, from the brain, the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis regulates the secretion of cortisol, which is an important hormone in our body, and cortisol regulates the permeability of epithelium that in turn affect gut microbiome composition. Vagus nerve, which is a major nerve involved in the as a part of parasympathetic nervous system, could also affect gut microbiome composition, tryptophan metabolism, and immune system. Both of them could affect gut microbiome composition. Gut microbiome conversely could also affect mood, cognition, and emotion. Gut microbiome, by altering their composition or by generating metabolites such as short-chain fatty acids, could affect brain functions. Gut microbiome also affects the metabolism of tryptophan, which is an important amino acid and the precursor to many biologically active agents such as neurotransmitter serotonin. Serotonin is an important neurotransmitter and neuromodulator, and therefore gut microbiome could affect the brain functions by altering the generation of neurotransmitters. In this study, these investigators investigated the effect of kefir on microbiome gut-brain axis in mice. They found that kefir could modulate the colonic serotonergic signaling in mice that drink kefir, and they also found altered gut microbiome composition, which was linked to increased GABA levels. GABA is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. They also found kefir to be able to influence inflammation by suppressing peripheral immune system and change the repetitive and reward-seeking behaviors in mice. So overall, this study showed that kefir could act on microbiome gut-brain axis and have effects on behavior and potentially cognitive levels. In humans, there's a randomized clinical trial in postmenopausal women, and they gave this woman unsweetened 500 ml kefir milk per day for 30 days. And those women who drank kefir milk had improved sleep disturbances, depression, and quality of life compared to those who did not drink milk at all. So this showed that probiotics in the kefir could possibly affect gut microbiome composition, and by acting through the gut microbiota-brain axis, they could affect cognitive functions in humans. In another uncontrolled clinical trial, they gave Alzheimer patients 2 ml per kilogram per day of unsweetened pasteurized milk containing 4% kefir grains for 90 days. And in these patients, they found systematic reduced inflammation, reduced oxidative stress, and therefore reduce mitochondrial damage, reduce DNA damage and improve DNA repair, and reduce apoptosis. And the effect of Kefir on these physiological functions ultimately affect cognitive functions by improving memory, visual spatial abstraction, and executive language functions in Alzheimer's patients. So this study again showed that by supplementing patients with Kefir, there could be potential positive brain benefits for patients who suffer from neurodegenerative diseases. So right now there are studies showing the positive effects of Kefir on brain health, but there should be still more study on the mechanism on how Kefir could affect microbiota-gut-brain axis, and therefore we could understand better how Kefir really affect our cognition. There should be also studies investigating what are the factors that could affect the final quality and the bacterial composition of Kefir, such as the percentage of Kefir grain in the milk, the temperature during production. These factors could possibly maximize the composition of those important beneficial psychobiotics in the Kefir. And lastly, there should be larger and longer randomized control studies of Kefir in neurological and neuropsychiatric diseases. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.